Hey friends! Today we are going to be doing a science experiment for life skills. It's day 15. What we are going to be doing is looking at the spread of germs using bread. So before I actually show and demonstrate the experiment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you what the experiment is and what you have to do at home. So the experiment's going to show you how a virus can spread. And what we're going to do is we're going to use pieces of bread to see how untouched bread, bread that was touched by dirty hands, bread that was touched by washed hands, bread that was touched by hand sanitizer, and bread that you pick up off the table, how much mold it grows over the next week or so. So at home, what you're going to do is you're going to get 5 pieces of bread. If you don't have bread at home, then you're going to watch my experiment to do it. I am actually going to cut some bread into pieces because I don't have a ton of bread left. But if you cut your bread into 4s, just be careful not to touch it because the whole fun of it is that some bread's not going to be touched by your hands at all. You're going to use tongs. Some you're going to have dirty hands. Some you're going to have washed hands, hand sanitizer, or from the table. So what you're going to do is step 1, ask a question. So the question is, which bread will grow the least amount of mold? So you're going to make a guess or create a hypothesis. So you're going to say, I think that the dirty hands bread is going to grow the least amount of mold. If you think the dirty hands are going to grow the least. If you think the table is going to grow the least, maybe the not touched, whatever you think. Now, you're probably thinking, Miss Kuna, you didn't print this out for me. How am I going to do this? Well, I have a Google Doc. So you're going to put your name, your date, and then you are going to you're not going to be able to circle, but you're going to have your options right here, just like from the paper. And you're going to type down here, I think let's see, I'm going to say the washed hands bread will grow the least amount of mold. So you see how I took the washed hands part and I typed it in here? That's what I want you to do tomorrow. That's all you have to do, and set up the experiment. It will tell you all the directions, and when I do it, you'll be able to see how I follow the directions too. But what you'll need are tongs, the bread, soap, warm water, hand sanitizer, a table, and your Ziploc bags. The Ziploc bags have to be labeled. You can just write on the bags or use a Post-it note and tape it on. So I'm going to pause here, get all my materials, and I will be back to do our experiment. All right, friends, so I have my bags labeled. You can see washed hands, dirty hands, from the table, hand sanitizer hands, and not touched. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the not touched bread first. So you guys can see, I have my bread here and I have my tongs. You know what? Let me see if I can, no. Let me pause it. I'm going to see if I can make this bigger. Hold on. That's a little better, right? Now you can actually see my whole face here and what I'm doing. So I have my tongs. So I'm going to take a piece of bread out. I'm actually going to break the bread. I'm going to use all of it. And I'm careful not to touch the bread. It was just in the bag. And I'm going to put it in my not touched Ziploc bag. If I can open it. Okay. There we go. Not touched. Seal it up. Okay, next, bread from the table. Oh boy, I hope you guys don't judge me on my table germs. So I'm gonna rip the bread with my tongs here. Okay, now I'm gonna drop this bread onto my table. Yeah, I'm going to wipe it on the table here. Wow, I can't touch it still. This is hard. And I'm going to put it in my from the table bag. Okay. There we go. From the table is done. All right. Next, I'm going to go get my hands dirty. I'll be right back. And then we'll see how that bread does. Okay, so I just touched some dusty stuff and some bins and things. Blech. So now my hands are dirty and I'm touching the bread. This one I can use my hand to put it in the bag. Here we go. Dirty hand bag all done. All right, next, I'm going to go wash my hands. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to do hand sanitizer first, and then I'll wash my hands. Give me a minute. All right, here's my hand sanitizer. It says Bride Tribe. I got this as a bridesmaid's gift. This is my only hand sanitizer I have, but we're going to use it because this experiment's important. So I'm going to put some on my hand, not too much, right? And then I'm going to rub it in. It smells very nice. I like it. Okay. It's good and rubbed in. Now, I'm going to get a piece of bread again. Oh, it's harder to get bread out of a bag with tongs than you would imagine. Oh, goodness. But the point of doing it with the tongs is so you don't touch anything and, you know, ruin the experiment or get false data. So I have my piece of bread, touching it with my hands that are hand sanitized. Very nice. Okay. All right, one more thing I'm going to do is wash my hands with soap and water. I will be back. Then we'll touch our last piece of bread and then we'll go from there. All right, my hands are nice and freshly washed. I'm going to get my last piece of bread out here. And that was hard. I'm going to touch this with my washed hands and put it in my bag. There we go. All right, so we're going to go back to our experiment here. Morning meeting is up. Let's see. Okay. So I rubbed my hands onto the bread I was supposed to, and the last direction says, seal each bag, observe for 1 month. Whoa. So this bread, now they're in bags so I can touch it. All of these breads, I'm going to keep on my table in the same spot. And after spring break, we're going to start checking on these to see what germs spread. And we will know because there will be mold that grows from the bacteria. So when you have bacteria from something on food like bread, the way you know if bread is sick is if it starts growing mold. So all of our bread will probably grow some mold, but we'll be able to tell what was the best way to prevent germs and bacteria by seeing which one has the smallest amount of mold. So once we've reached a point where we can tell the difference in our breads, we will do this step of our experiment, the data part, and we will then do our conclusion. So we have some fun things to look forward to. Moldy bread, always fun. And if you were not able to do this experiment at home, no worries, because I'm doing it here. But if you get the chance to, I think you should try to do it at your house too. But remember, you need these.
I will be checking in with you to make sure that you could get everything done for this, but this is a great way for us to learn about germs. And during this time when we're not in school, a big reason for that is because of germs and because of people getting sick. So the whole idea of this experiment is learning what things do we touch that are dirty and how do we keep ourselves healthy and so we don't get sick. Like the bread is going to get mold and that's not healthy. So we want to also stay healthy. All right, friends, well, I miss you. Don't forget it's spring break, so you aren't going to be back in school until next Tuesday. And the date will be the 14th is going to be when you get a video from me again. However, please feel free, reach out to me on Remind, FaceTime me. If you have work you're missing, let's get that done next week. Okay? All right, well, I miss you guys. I had a lot of fun doing the experiment, but I know it would have been more fun if we could do it together at school. All right, I'll see you soon, friends. Bye.